Alright folks, it's the end of the year 2020, and over the last few years we've seen all kinds of different movements, right? We've seen all kinds of different acceptance movements and all these different societal changes go down. And to keep it $1.50, I'm down for a lot of it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people, they watch my videos and they think that I'm like anti-societal change, which is absolutely the furthest thing from the truth. The difference is I actually have the balls to call out like a lot of this fake stuff that goes on, and I actually don't just cower down to what stupid people online say. So today we're going to be learning about fat people, guys. Yeah, we're going to be learning about everybody's favorite target for the last couple hundred years, fat people. So we found a TikTok video here. This is coming from, well, I found it from @thetwoon on Twitter. I believe a fellow YouTuber. I'm not sure if he uploads anymore, but another account over on Twitter. And we're going to learn about how we can be a great ally to fat people from this TikTok here. If you were wondering how we could do that, because that seems like a very important thing going on right now. I can think of at least like 4,000 things probably in the world that are more important than me being a great ally to fat people right now, but I mean, you know, whatever. But, you know, I get it, right? Like, you probably shouldn't just be going around bullying fat people for being fat, right? I mean, I know you should probably try to be at least a little bit sensitive to people's feelings. You shouldn't just be going up to some, you know, tub of lard on the sidewalk and just, you know, poking them in the side, jiggling them and you know, bullying them or anything crazy, right? You shouldn't be doing anything crazy, right? You shouldn't be a bully, you shouldn't be mean, you shouldn't be an ass, anything like that. I get that. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all, whatever, right? All that stuff. But I mean, at a certain point, science and reality kind of have to kick in, and like the real world has to kind of come back into effect here, and like you can no longer just live in your own fantasy world anymore, and you have to just kind of face what's happening. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people in this fat acceptance movement have, because I agree, it's 100% okay to be fat. I'm not telling you, you can't be fat, but if you want me to sit here and tell you that it's healthy, or if you want me to sit here and encourage you to be fat, or you want me to tell you that that's like a lifestyle that should be recommended and encouraged, I'm not going to do that. It just simply is not going to happen, because there is a little something called science, and there's only been hundreds of years of it built up at this point that prove there's God knows how many side effects to being fat, all the strain that it puts on your body, the basically how it shortens your lifespan, all of the diseases that it can cause, how the wear and tear that it puts on your organs and your bodily functions. Like, being super fat is horrible for you, okay? Like, if you're morbidly obese, that is not healthy, and it is not something that society should be encouraging for people. But anyway, let's go ahead and start taking a look at this and see how we can be a great ally to fat people.
To be a great ally to fat people, here are some things you can do. When you go to the doctor, encourage them to do the following things. Eliminate any weight or BMI cutoff policies.
So weight cutoff policies, I believe, is referring to like insurance and stuff like that. If believe it or not, there's actually like for your health insurance and stuff, there are some policies that are legal to basically cut off. Because believe it or not, there's like actually some policies that, based on the fact if you're like 7,000 pounds, they'll spike your insurance, or they'll like basically take away some of your coverage. Now, is that maybe the morally correct thing to do? Probably not. But is it understandable? Absolutely. You're telling me you can't understand why an insurance company would look at an 850-pound person and be like, we don't want to insure that person's health, considering that they're quite literally a liability to our insurance company? They're quite literally going to hold us back. I mean, just like with driving insurance, like if you get too many tickets or you get too many DUIs or something, insurance companies can refuse to insure you. If you choose to eat too much fucking food and you decide to be 850 pounds because you eat McDonald's 4 times a day, and you refuse to go to the gym or take a walk every once in a while, it should come as no surprise that your health insurance company does not want to protect you. They're running a fucking business. They're not running a morality company, okay? And while, yeah, it is kind of shady morally that they don't want to help people, they're not in the business for the morality. They're in the business to make money.
Stop using the BMI completely because it is ineffective and racist.
Okay, so I've heard so many times about how the body mass index is what it is ineffective, okay? And I've never heard a good explanation as to why it's ineffective. And it's racist. Huh. It's racist. Is it now? Okay, well, can you explain to us how it's racist and it's ineffective? Oh, you can't? Oh, you won't? Oh, okay, I just have to believe you on that one that it is? Oh, okay, that makes sense. I should have figured that the chick with blue hair was gonna throw in the racism part at some point. or the discrimination part at some point. Like, it was bound to happen, you know what I'm saying? This is a woman who, by the way, has never experienced racism probably in her life, you know what I'm saying? Like, she has no fucking clue what racism is like to experience on a daily basis. There's people who walk down the street every day and get stared at because of their skin color and get treated as if they're, you know, inhuman. People have literally been denied job applications, college applications, loans for houses, basic human rights and decency for hundreds of years in this country alone. And that's just scraping like the surface of it, okay? For hundreds of years. And she's complaining about the racism of the fucking body mass index because she doesn't want to stop eating cupcakes. Yeah, that's the point that we're at in society here, folks.
Get medical equipment that will actually work for fat patients, like blood pressure cuffs that fit and won't give a false high reading because they're too tight.
Or, this is also a fascinating option, okay? Maybe don't be so fucking fat that the medical equipment literally doesn't fit on you in a doctor's office. How is that even possible? Look, I don't know. Maybe I'm just so privileged to have experienced this. I have never had a bad blood pressure reading in my life. Every time I've had it, they strap that bitch on my arm. It fits like a fucking, you know, a snug blanket on a nice winter night. They give me a perfect reading. Mr. Optimus, you got great blood pressure, my friend. You're in good shape. You're not gonna die from high blood pressure anytime soon, my man, or low blood pressure, anything. You're doing good. Good looking out, okay? I have never ever in my life seen someone so fucking fat that a blood pressure cuff, which by the way are all pretty much adjustable universally, like super adjustable too. Like they'll adjust up to like a foot in diameter, okay? I've never seen someone so fat that they can't get one of those on their arm without it being restrictive. If you're that fat, it is definitely a you problem and not a medical doctor's office problem.
Set up their office in a way that makes it usable for fat people, like putting chairs without arms in every room.
Once again, consider the following. Don't be so fucking fat that you can't sit in chairs in public. Like, how does that even happen? How do you get to a point where you're so fat that you can't even fucking sit down? Like, not to be mean, but fat people are, like, usually lazier, okay? That's why they're often more fat. They exercise less. Their caloric intake is too high. They have lower exercise rates. You know, shocker, right? It's basic math and science, okay? You would think they would be more incentivized to want to sit down in the doctor's office. How do you literally get so fat that you literally are, you now have broken out of the constraints of the typical chair? Which, by the way, in the United States, in every doctor's office I've been in, every chair that I sit in, there is like plenty of extra space, okay? They have pretty much like expanded, I'm pretty sure, the chair size in these places in America as is, and you're still so fat that you can't sit in them? And that's the doctor's fault, not yours?
When you go to a clothing store, tell them to expand their size range. It does not matter what their size range currently is. Tell them to expand it.
No, do not tell them to expand it. Tell fat people that if they want to fit into clothes, to lose weight. If you're so fat that you can't fit into clothes that are being manufactured, then either A, don't shop that brand, or B, lose weight. You have those two options. Some brands, they specifically tailor their clothes to not go above a certain limit, okay? They go to like maybe 2X or whatever, and that's it. They specifically make clothing for larger people. If you're so fat that you can't fit into like a 2X or a 3X or whatever, right? Then don't shop for that brand. Like for my merchandise, for example, like the max that most of it goes to is a 3X, and it's not going any higher than that. Like if you're so fat that you can't fit into like there's some of it that goes up to like a 4 or a 5X. If you can't go to like a 4 or a 5X, then don't buy my merchandise. I'm just gonna say it now. Because you have much other, more important things in your life you need to be focusing on than buying my merchandise. And that's to keep it as real as possible.
If you work in education, get in touch with the health and PE departments. Ask them if they have anything in their curriculum that involves students weighing themselves, counting calories, or using the BMI in any capacity. If they do, educate them on how all of these practices lead to eating disorders and ask them to stop.
Yeah, we wouldn't want any of that. You know, if kids actually weighed themselves and like counted their calories and like held themselves accountable for their diets and like their exercise, they might not be fat as fuck, right? That would be crazy. Yeah, the United States totally doesn't have an obesity epidemic going on, right? You know, kids aren't eating McDonald's 5 times a week and becoming fucking whales. You know what I'm saying? That's totally not an issue going on in our country. So what we should do to protect their feelings, okay, their sensitive whittle feelings, is we should stop having them weigh themselves because they don't like to see the number that they see on the scale. We should have them stop counting calories because the numbers are offensive, because believe it or not, a quarter pounder is not 150 calories, okay? And the BMI is apparently fucking racist. I don't know how that is. If someone can actually logically explain to me how the BMI is racist with proof and evidence, that would be great, but I have yet to hear a logical explanation on this one, so... This is getting to a point of absolute lunacy. You know, like I said, you shouldn't go around just harassing fat people for the sake of harassment and being mean. But to pretend like we should ignore the basic science behind obesity is fucking ridiculous. Your feelings about how you feel about yourself and your inability to escape your negative self-opinion about your weight is not more important than the obesity epidemic going on. Your inability to stop eating 6,000 calories a day is not more important than the fact that more Americans are going to die from heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, etc., than probably in wars in the next 50 to 100 years, based off of McDonald's alone, okay? Your feelings don't matter that much. I know that a lot of you have been raised to believe that. Your parents have made you believe to your fucking core that your opinions and your beliefs and your feelings matter so deeply that everyone else has to walk around on eggshells and think differently because, oh, poor pitiful you. But I'm here to tell you, you honestly can go fuck yourself. If you don't want to lose weight, then own up to the fact that you're obese and just shut the fuck up, okay? If you want to sit there and be fat all day, okay? If you don't want to be fat, Planet Fitness is like $10 a month. You know what? Fuck it. Actually, no. Sidewalks are free. You can walk on them for free. Your local city's got miles of them, okay? Go to a park, join a class or something. I don't know. But it's on you. It's not on everyone else. Take some self-accountability and stop telling everyone else to handle your problems for you. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Just afraid of everything and signing out.